I guess just starting off, how do you think your team played overall today?
I'm proud of their effort. Thought we battled. Like a lot of times, I think there are some opportunities out there that we had a couple opportunities for turnovers, didn't turn out. We obviously elected to kick a field goal, thinking that they hadn't scored the half, that it would take a touchdown to beat us. Obviously that can be scrutinized as far as going forward. We couldn't put Jalen back in the game. We couldn't buy him back in the game with a timeout, and we just felt that putting one of the other guys in that situation was better to kick the field goal. Ultimately, I make that decision, and understand that that's one that can be scrutinized pretty highly. So I thought our guys played hard. I thought we had flashes, but I think both teams played that way today. So
going to that 4th and 2, and maybe you answered it there, but how close were you to wanting to lean towards getting creative?
If Jalen was in the game, we were going for it. And then when they stopped it and they took him out, and I needed a clarification on the rule, but since the officials took him out by that, it's not like if the helmet comes off, we can use a timeout to put him back in the game. With an injury, we could not. So it was, we were going to put a different quarterback in, and talking with Z, and we made the decision to kick the field goal and make a touchdown beat us, and unfortunately Leif missed his first, and either way it probably didn't make that big a difference. But if you ask me again, would I make the same decision? I don't know right now. I have to admit that. So it's disappointing for us in this team, because we controlled the clock pretty well there. We converted another 4th down in that drive. We stayed pretty aggressive in that to the point of getting some balls thrown and caught in a time where most people think you're going to be just running clock.
I mean, you mentioned it there, but for most of the second half, it was a very consistent performance from the defense. What did you like about what they're able to do for the majority of it, and do you see what happened maybe on the last play?
Yeah, I did. Obviously, we miss a gap. We're bringing pressure, and we miss a gap in there, and probably a safety's removed out on a receiver, and for some, I didn't get a chance to look at without any media timeouts, or look at the tablet or anything. I thought our defense, especially second half, probably even in the second quarter, we started to play more aggressively, more confidently. I thought we tackled pretty well. I think we had a pretty good idea how they're going to attack us, and we were able to get throw a very accurate quarterback, or really out of rhythm, I thought, there for a while. And but again, they made the plays down the stretch.
Do you feel like it was pressure, or guys getting off their blocks kind of allowed the defensive front to get in the backfield as much as they were able to today?
I think it was a combination. I think obviously there were some pressures and blitzes that we had some free guys, and obviously if you're doing that, coverage is pretty good on the backside that doesn't allow the ball to be thrown. But I think there were some instances that we were winning some battles on the outside with our defensive ends, and decent push inside that allowed the pocket to kind of condense a little bit out too.
You mentioned just the turnovers that got overturned being something that happened just with the one right before the half, the pick 6 that got turned back. Just how deflating was that, and what did you see on that one?
Yeah, it's pretty deflating. You go up 24/7 at half. I mean, that's huge. That's huge, and to have a defensive holding off the play on a play that's probably that type of contact is very common, I would say. So obviously it's called. I can't change it. So it's Leroy made a heck of a play, and then even a better run to take it all the way. And again, you're up 24/7 at half getting the ball. Who knows what happens from there? But we didn't, and can't sit and complain about it right now and do that. And then it was close on Taylor Davis's one he's diving, I guess, you know. Review shows that I guess it hit the ground. Our guys upstairs thought it probably hit the ground too, so he thought he kind of was able to corral it with his knees, but I guess he didn't. So, but yeah.
Offensively, in the second half, what do you feel like led to some of the struggles where it's another second half without an offensive touchdown?
It's a couple things with them being very disruptive again, and them being able to, some of our third down stuff probably was obviously what were we on third downs? I think 6 of 17.
Yeah, 3 of 11 in the second half.
Is that what it was? Yeah. Just without really breaking down all those calls, I really don't have a great answer right now. It isn't like, some was Jalen getting some pressure. Some I think we had a drop or two in there as well. That balls were, looked like they were off hands, but they did a good job in those situations for sure.
When you have a bye week and then just 2 games, how much of a sense of urgency do you feel like there is for the team going into the last bye week now?
Well, obviously this one thing we know we're fighting to and one of the things I talked about, this team wants to play a 13th game. There's no doubt about that, and for us to find a way to make sure we hit that benchmark is going to be really important. It's from the way the year was. I don't know exactly. Your sense of urgency. It's we've got a schedule built out for next week that's pretty similar to what we've done. Slight modifications. It's like any other time when they get back in the building, you've got to move on and you got to keep working at what you're deficient in. And again, I think this team has done that throughout the year, and I'm confident they'll do it again.
Looking at the last 2 games, what do you think it's going to take to get over the hump, to get that 6th win, to be able to play the 13th game?
Complete effort in all 3 phases. We're going to play good football teams. You got one that's ranked in top 25, and then you got a team that was picked to be one of the teams to win in the league that was ranked. And you have to go to their place. It's going to take consistency in all 3 phases. We've shown flashes of being really good on defense, and I thought like today it was 5 sacks. I thought was very disruptive that way. We've got to continue to cut down on some of the explosive plays. I think offensively, we're better today. I don't know what's Jalen's. Again, just a little bit over 50%. We still, which sometimes late in the game, those get a little skewed when you're trying to make those plays. We got to continue to work on consistency of getting those things kind of feeding off each other like we were in the first part of the year. I don't know if we fully have that, where our RPO game is really where it was at times, and looking for that consistency and execution when needed.
Anything else, Coach? Anything else? Thank you.